We live in strange times, times where selling your body online is not only normalized, it's celebrated, where strangers pay for access to someone they'll never touch, and where attention is the most valuable currency of all. We're told this is empowerment, that it's freedom, that it's just content like any other product. But let's look deeper, because what's happening with OnlyFans isn't just about women making money. It's about men escaping reality. It's about culture losing connection. It's about the human soul trading depth for dopamine. So let's talk about it. There was a time when intimacy was private, when the body was something shared, not sold, something sacred, not streamed. Now it's a product, wrapped in filters, packaged in captions, sold in subscriptions. And what used to be called pornography is now called a side hustle. Young girls grow up being told they can be anything, and more that anything turns into one thing: an online fantasy, a digital girlfriend, a rentable illusion. And let's be clear, this isn't just about sex. It's about identity becoming performance, validation becoming income, and self-worth becoming a sales pitch. In today's world, attention is power, and if attention is power, then the body is the weapon. OnlyFans is built on this simple truth, that millions of men are desperate to feel wanted, even if they have to pay for it. But they're not buying sex. They're buying the illusion of intimacy, a DM that feels personal, a video that feels like it's just for them, a moment of connection in a world where connection is dying. But it's not real. It's a business model, and what started as empowerment becomes a transaction of loneliness on both sides of the screen. Let's talk about the men, because they're not just customers. They're casualties. They're told they're weak if they want connection, so they settle for simulation. They trade real relationships for controlled experiences. No rejection, no vulnerability, just consumption. But the cost is high. Their sense of masculinity erodes. Their confidence fades. Their drive disappears. They become addicted to pixels and allergic to purpose. Because when everything is easy, nothing is earned. And a man who stops earning stops growing. And the women? They're told this is freedom, that they're taking back the power, that this is just business. But it's a business that trains them to tie their value to their body, to believe that the more skin they show, the more they're worth, to chase dopamine dressed as dollar signs. At first, it feels like control, but over time, it becomes dependence on attention, on approval, on being desired. And what happens when that fades? When youth runs out? When the algorithm shifts? The money might have been good, but the respect, the dignity, the sense of self, that's harder to recover. OnlyFans isn't just a website, it's a mirror showing us who we've become. We've traded mystery for exposure, intimacy for content, connection for performance. We've normalized public sexuality and privatized emotional depth. We now live in a world where more people are comfortable being naked than being honest, than being known, than being loved for something deeper than appearance. And that's not progress. That's a warning sign. No one talks about the loneliness, about the marriages quietly falling apart, about the men who can't perform with real women anymore because they're overstimulated by fantasy. No one talks about the women who feel invisible unless they're on camera, about the pressure to constantly sexualize themselves just to stay relevant. We're creating a culture of spectators and performers where real relationships, with all their imperfections, feel boring, and where love is replaced by likes. But here's the truth. You can have 1 million followers and still feel completely alone. Every time intimacy becomes content, it loses its power. And every time a man pays for a fantasy, he loses a little bit of himself. Every time a woman sells a piece of herself to strangers, she moves further away from knowing her real worth. This isn't about morality. It's about meaning. And meaning is being stripped away, post by post, view by view. We need to wake up. This isn't empowerment. This is exploitation, disguised as choice. So, what do we do now? Men, stop funding the system that weakens you. Stop trading real women for rented illusions. Stop escaping into comfort and start embracing discomfort, the kind that leads to growth. Build something real. Earn respect, not with clicks, but with character. Train your body, not for aesthetics, but for strength. Discipline your mind. Become someone worth following, even if no one's watching. Because masculinity isn't found in control. It's found in sacrifice, in protection, in quiet leadership when no one is clapping. Women, you are more than your body. You are not a product. You are not a brand. You don't need to monetize your existence to prove your power. You have brilliance, vision, depth. You can create, lead, nurture, build, not just be consumed. The platforms may reward performance, but life rewards purpose. We are not enemies, but we are all trapped in the same machine, one that profits off our emptiness. It feeds on our clicks, our cravings, our loneliness. And unless we choose to disconnect from the illusion, we will never reconnect with what's real. You can sell your body. You can buy pleasure. You can monetize attention. But you can't buy respect. You can't buy love. You can't buy purpose. Because the moment everything becomes a transaction, we lose the very thing that makes life sacred: connection. OnlyFans isn't just a platform. It's a symptom of a generation that's rich in exposure and starving for intimacy. It's a warning, not just about what we're doing, but about who we're becoming. So the question isn't, how much can you make from this? The real question is, what are you losing? And maybe even more important, who are you becoming in the process? Thanks for watching. Do you think OnlyFans is empowering or dangerous? Let's have a real conversation in the comments. And if this message made you think, like, share, and subscribe. This is just the beginning.